All right, cool. So start from the top. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to tonight's Zoom call. Super excited to have everybody. Tonight, we get to share with you guys about the opportunity that we all have available to us with Isagenix. Now, a little bit about me. My background was specifically coming from a health fitness professional. I co-owned and operated my own personal training studio in Manhattan and did pretty well for in my mid-20s. However, having 41 clients, I was trading a lot of time for a lot of people. And it got to the point where I felt like I was just honestly burnt out. I was training everybody else besides myself. I was working everybody else out besides myself. And I kind of felt like an imposter after a while. It was like, I'm not even taking care of myself. I'm taking care of everybody else. And I remember just laying on the floor of my studio at one point saying, is this all that there is? And there wasn't, because God answered my prayers, and it just took a little bit longer. So I ended up pretty much marrying Adiana. We moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, and I was praying for someone or something to come into my life to show me a better way. I thought that I moved here specifically for real estate. Little did I know that I was not going to like it whatsoever. I gave it a solid 10 months. My dad's been doing it for 50 years in upstate Rochester, New York. Like we say down here in the South, bless his heart. Personally, it was not my cup of tea. So I ended up praying for someone or something to come into my life. And just so happened 3 days later after I said that prayer, I met somebody when I was in the gym. There was a man that was near the cables that I was working out of, and he's staring down at the ground just like this. And I thought it was kind of weird. I was like, okay, I'm just going to work around him. And I got on the cables. Next thing you know, I get a tap on the shoulder. It's the same guy. Said, excuse me, man, you dropped this. And he handed me a license that looked nearly identical to me. And I just looked at him and I just said, thanks, man, but this actually isn't mine. And I gave it back to him. He grabs it from me and he's like, there's no way that this isn't you. This is you to a T. And it got a laugh. It got us talking. And he introduced me, I guess I should say reintroduced me to Isagenix. I already knew about Isagenix. I've already taken some of the products. I didn't really necessarily know exactly that there was an opportunity tied to this. But little did I know that there was, and that's what Herb Cepeda. Just so happened that he is the #1 income earner in the entire world for this company worldwide. Him and his wife are incredible mentors for many of us on this team. They have a family of 5, very, very godly individuals. We're just so blessed to have them as our mentors. So never woke up thinking I was going to be a professional network marketer. I always thought and knew that I was going to be a business owner, but I know now that I'm making an incredible impact in people's lives. I realize now that network marketing is not really just a profession. It's really a vehicle for you to be able to bring out the greatest version of yourself possible so that you can have maximal influence on the world around you. And so that's what I used it for. My wife and I, we've been doing this for a little 2.5 years now. And it's been the greatest change. It's been it's really been the most blessed thing. Obviously, the best thing that's ever happened to me besides marrying my wife and accepting Jesus. Those are the only other 2. This is number 3, and I'm so incredibly thankful that we get the chance to share with you guys tonight. So for the sake of time, sorry for the difficulties. I wanted to keep my story brief, but I want to share my screen with you if I may, and I'm not going to hit leave meeting this time, I swear. There we go. So tonight we're going to talk about the Freedom Plan, the residual income strategy with Isagenix. This is all about working smart. So at the retirement age, let's talk about retirement for a second. Because many of us, I look young, and it's like, why is he talking about retirement, right? I'm in my 30s. It's just like, he's too young to talk about this. Well, honestly, now is the time to talk about it because you never know what the trends are going to be. You never know what's going to happen, and it's really important nowadays to have a plan B, and this is exactly what this is for many people. So when it comes to retirement age, only 1 out of 100 people actually have achieved financial freedom, only 1% of the population. Now, when it comes to out of every 100 people at retirement age, here's the breakdown. 49 will be dependent on family and charity. 29 will no longer be with us. 12 will be broke. 5 will still be working. 4 will be financially independent, but only 1 will be wealthy. So when it comes to wealth, how did that 1% actually accumulate that wealth? And the answer is this. 65% owned their own business. Now I want to introduce to you my good friend, business partner, Chuck. He's been in the industry for, I don't even remember, I think definitely over a decade, well over a decade. He's not only just my business partner, teammate, he's a great friend of mine. He's been a huge mentor for myself as well as my team. He's had incredible results with this product line. He's been in 4 other companies. He's maxed them out, all the compensation plans. And there's a reason why he's with us tonight and that he considers Isagenix his home.
Nick, thank you very much, and I appreciate the opportunity to share with you tonight. And ladies and gentlemen, those are pictures of me. The one on the far left was actually a little before I got started with the Isagenix products. The one in the middle was after I released 23 pounds of fat. Really more than that because I was adding lean muscle at the same time. But the scale was a reduction of 23 pounds. Very, very happy and excited about that. I was actually down to my high school football weight. And then the picture on the right is about 4 or 5 months ago after I had gotten involved in going back and working out, which I had not had the urge to do that in decades. But thanks to Isagenix and the good nutrition, I literally now crave good nutrition. And I actually crave exercise, which I didn't think I would say that again since my high school and college football and baseball days. So, Nick, let's go to the 5 categories of a business. And I think I'm pretty qualified to share this with you because I have been the #1 income earner with 4 different network marketing companies. And I used to think that was something pretty good. Not only did I hit the top of the pay plan, but I was the #1 income earner with 4 different companies. But you know what? I came to realize when I got involved with Isagenix, I just wasn't pretty good at picking companies prior to Isagenix. And it was basically Herb Cepeda and my enroller, Michael Weeder, who taught me how to properly do my due diligence. So when you're looking at an opportunity, there's 5 basic things you want to look at. Number 1 is the company. A company's only going to be as good as its leadership. And at Isagenix, we have phenomenal leadership. And Jim and Kathy Cooper, the original founder, John Anderson, and now you got Travis Ogden, Travis Garza, and so many more. They've built an incredible team of people, including Jim and Kathy Cooper's son, Eric Cooper, who's the next generation of ownership. So you've got phenomenal leadership. It's a 16-year-old company. A lot of the companies I got involved with before this were fairly new startup companies. I used to think that was so cool. You know, hey, I'm on the ground floor of a startup company. Well, Chuck, 98% of them don't make it. And that's not a good thing when you look for residual income. So it's nice to have a company that's 16 years old. They've already done $6 billion in sales. Last year, just under $1 billion. Absolutely amazing. Profitable, strong cash flow, deep cash reserves, and the company is set to become a legacy company. The next thing you got to look at is products. Now, I used to think it was really cool. I got in the business 20 plus years ago. Nick, thanks for saying 1 decade, but it's more like 2+ decades ago I got involved in this industry.
Excuse me.
I did it part-time. I was in corporate America. And I got started with a little bitty company some of you may have heard of called Amway. Amway is a great company. Last year, I think they did $8-point-something billion in sales. So they're not hurting too bad. But it just wasn't for me. But it was a great opportunity for me to really learn about products and how to build a business. But then I got into technology. And I said, you know what? I'm going to build network marketing businesses based around technology. Not a good idea, Chuck. Again, technology changes so fast that a network marketing company, the field sales force, can't keep up. Those businesses were destined to fail. And so I've come home to a product-based company, but not just a product-based company. It's a product-based company where people have an emotional attachment to the products. You couldn't stop my wife and I from using Isagenix products. We could not be in the business. We could have all kinds of things happen to us, but we're going to buy these products because of what they do for our bodies. They've transformed our bodies. We feel great. We literally look as good as we did in our early 20s as far as our body makeup. And my wife still looks like she's 20. I don't, obviously. But it's an amazing thing what's happened with these products. We have an emotional response, and people want them. In fact, 87% of people who use Isagenix products are simply customers. They're not involved in sharing and referring and making money. They're simply customers. And that's a strong selling point for Isagenix. The next thing is training and support. Well, Isagenix, in and of itself, as a company, has the best training support system I've seen in my 20+ years in this industry. I'm talking about everything from their ISA tools to their 90-day game plan to the events and the training that they provide. Absolutely first class and the best I've ever seen in over 2 decades in this industry. I've worked with many, many companies. Now, in addition to that, you've got the Herb and Patty Cepeda team and their system. Ladies and gentlemen, by being invited to this call, you are on Herb and Patty Cepeda's team. Whoever invited you, this is their call. This is their team. It is the best team in the company. And I don't say that just because we're on it. I say it because it is. We just happen to be on it. Herb and Patty Cepeda have decades of experience in this industry, and they have built a team in the last 10 years I was at an event, I guess it was NYKO, when they were talking about the incomes of some of the top leaders from last year. And from stage, they announced that Herman Petty Cepeda had earned $2.5 million in Isagenix the previous year. I want you to go home and do the math, 2.5 million, divide that by 52 weeks, and think about what that would be as a weekly paycheck. Now, am I saying you're going to earn that income? Absolutely not. I'll make the disclaimer right here and now. There are no guarantees. There's no guarantee you'll make a single penny. I guarantee you one thing, if you do nothing, you'll make nothing. It's that simple. But if you follow the Cepeda system, you can become like many on their team who have literally become financially independent. Jessica Johnson is one of my favorite examples. I love listening to her. When she's on this call, I don't miss it. She basically, in 5 years, has earned over $5 million with the company. She's on a pace to surpass Herman Petty Cepeda's $20 million that they've earned in their 10 years. Now, those are a couple great high-end examples. There's many people, like I said before, who make absolutely nothing in this business because they don't do anything. They don't share. They don't build a team. This does take work. So the training and support, you'll never find a better place than right here with Isagenix and the Cepeda team. The next thing is a compensation plan. I kid you not. My wife and I have a home office. Her office is right across from mine. And every single week, at least once a week, often more than that, I will tell her, can you believe this compensation plan? It is absolutely incredible. It's fair, first of all, but it's also got things for the brand new person. If you're a guest on our call tonight, there are all kinds of introductory bonuses, rank advancement bonuses, cycle bonuses, things that you can earn right away to put money in your pocket. Product introduction bonuses. We're going to get to all that later, but the compensation plan is the best I've seen in my entire career, and not even by like, oh, it just barely squeaks out the other ones. No, it blows everything away that I've ever seen before. It is an incredible compensation plan for the new person, the person that's in the build, and the person that's achieved maximum success, walk away residual income. It's phenomenal. And then last but definitely not least is timing. There are some great companies out there. There's several multi-billion-dollar companies in this network marketing space. There's not as many as you think, though. I mean, I think less than what you count on two hands for sure, multiple billion-dollar companies. And the key is timing. Some of those companies have been around for 100 years. Is it a good time to be getting on board with those companies? I don't think so. I think it's better to be involved in a company that's not hit hyper momentum yet. Now, we're going to show you some slides in a little bit here that's going to show you the momentum the company's under. So I don't want to go into all the details, but I will say this. You could not have picked a better time to get involved in Isagenix than right now. Well, you might be thinking, well, Chuck, I would have really got involved 16 years ago when I first started. No, you wouldn't. Most of the people that got involved then are not still in Isagenix. There is a pruning process that takes place. Go ahead and go to the next slide, Nick. Not everyone sticks around. So what would the perfect business look like to you? In fact, I ask people this question all the time. What would the perfect business look like? What would your ideal job look like? And I let them tell me. Typically, it is I can set my own hours. I can come and go as I want. I can work as little as I want. I make as much money as I want. I'd be able to work with people. Hopefully you like people. If you don't like people, this is probably not going to be a good business for you because this is a people business. What are some other things that make this a great business? There's no overhead. My overhead is a room in my house. I'm already paying my mortgage, so I had no additional expense. In fact, my CPA has advised me that I can write off some of my income as tax-deductible business expenses from things I was doing anyway. Again, get with your CPA to get the details, but the average family is going to save $2,000 to $4,000 a year in taxes simply by having a legitimate home-based business. But here we have no overhead. It's amazing. Now, this is one of my favorite slides. On the fifth point of a business is timing. Your timing could not be better. Let me tell you why real quick. This company, unlike the other big legacy companies out there, the Amways, the Herbalifes, the Nu Skins, great companies by all means, but they've kind of hit their peak. And 70%, 65 to 70% of their revenue of those companies I just mentioned and other big ones come from Asia. Asia being Korea, Japan, China. Guess what? Look at the map. Isagenix is not in any of those three countries yet. So what do you think is going to happen to Isagenix over the next 5 to 10 years as we start to open up in those countries and start to expand in those countries? Well, if history is any indication of the future, we're going to have a large percentage of our income coming from those same countries. And who benefits from that? The people in those countries? Absolutely. But who else? Us. Those of us that are the ones who introduce it to people who introduce it to people in those countries. Ladies and gentlemen, expanding globally, Isagenix has done it so strategically. Most companies expand quickly and then they try to build the infrastructure to handle it. Not Isagenix. I helped with the launch in the UK last year. I watched how they did it. It was amazing. They had a general manager on staff for more than a year before they launched. They built a corporate office, a nice corporate office in London. They had the corporate staff in place and trained. So by the first sale that was made, they had already invested millions and millions of dollars. Now, in Korea, which we're about to open up in a month or two, they've done the same thing. They've had the general manager hired for some time. They've got the staff being built and developed and trained. Massive amounts of inventories going into place. So Isagenix does it different than most companies I've ever seen before. They get prepared and they go in and they do a country right. I now want to turn the call back to Nick, and Nick's going to cover some of the product for us. So Nick, take it away and bring it back to me when we get to talk about money again.
Chuck, I get so fired up just listening to you because you are just a wealth of knowledge when it comes to this industry. You have the experiential knowledge that goes along with it, and you know exactly what it takes in order for a company and your personal business to be successful. It's just unreal. I absolutely love listening to you. So when it comes to solutions wise, I mean, we have tons of different solutions. We have everything from energy, weight, time, aging, job, or maybe a career change, physical, health, financial. And honestly, it just comes down to which one can you relate to, right? You can pick one, you can pick two, you can pick 4, 5, all of them. Which one can you relate to? We have this thing that's called the IsaBody Challenge, which is simply just a 4-week challenge that challenges people to really just become the best version of themselves possible, really just putting in the effort to see what they can do when they put their all together for 4 months or 12 weeks. And what's going to happen, or 16 weeks, excuse me. And what happens is some of these people, as you see on here, obviously some of these people are pretty drastic. Now, granted, we have to say a disclaimer, not all weight loss is going to be typical. Not all results are going to be the same. Some of these people, they worked differently. They've really just put their all into, and obviously genetics plays a big part as well too. But here's the key thing about the IsaBody Challenge. Number one is the community that we have access to. It's so incredible and it's so important to have a community of people that's uplifting, that's inspiring, that's motivating, that is empowering to go towards your goals and dreams. And number two is the IsaBody Challenge. Isagenix actually pays you in order to do this. They pay you simply by when you come into the IsaBody Challenge from start and just finishing it, they're going to pay you $200 in product coupons. You get $200 in free food, which is amazing. Not any other company does it. It doesn't mean you have to win anything. It doesn't mean that you have to look a certain way at the end of it. You can literally just complete this and look generally the same, and you still get the coupon. What other company is really going to do that? So when it comes to the products, I could go on and on and on, and we have some people on here like Shirley, Dr. Shirley, and other people that we could just go on, and that's exactly why we have the product calls specifically for Monday. But we have some different products, and I can pretty much go through them as we go here through the packs as well too. The first one, the most popular, is going to be the Isoline Shake. The Isoline Shake is very unique because I've had a lot of protein shakes in my day. I've been a personal trainer, like I said, and I used to actually have full access to GNC and Vitamin Shop. I knew both the owners. I'd walk in there, and it's pretty much like whatever Nick wanted, Nick pretty much got. Because I had 41 clients that I was giving to these business owners, these 2 businesses. And so whatever I wanted, I could simply go in there and pick out like a few things that give me the latest and greatest thing that they just got in just to try, and I'm out. Like I got to try everything. So I've tried proteins. And the biggest thing that I found that was so unique about Isagenix protein was the undenatured, grass-fed, no hormone whey protein. It's something that I've never seen before. I've never even heard of undenatured whey protein. I didn't even know it existed, not to mention in a company where you could actually create a financial income for yourself. And these shakes have actually been clinically tested to aid for weight loss in clinical studies that, have gone anywhere from 3 months all the way up to 15-month clinical studies and trials, which is unreal. It's unheard of. But you also have pre and probiotics in this. You have digestive enzymes. You have a perfectly balanced meal replacement shake that simply just comes out of the packet. As soon as it hits the water or the liquid that you put it in, it becomes boom, it becomes a live food. It's unreal. And not to mention the absorption rate, specifically when I'm talking from like an athlete, more of like an athlete's, perspective, that's something that you don't see of. It's a grade 7 whey protein. Most of them are grade 1, 2, maybe 3 if you can find it, which means that you're going to absorb maybe 60 to 70%. You have companies that have been doing like amino spiking and stuff like that, not actually having exactly what's on the label. But this is really 90+% absorbable, which is just awesome. The Cleanse for Life, which I did this all wrong when I first started. I was fired up. I saw a bunch of stuff. I was like, what's this taste like? What's this do? Oh yeah, let me pop one of those. And so I did this completely wrong, and I was shocked on how I felt. I literally, within days, it felt like a light bulb, just boom, it went on inside me. I felt like I had more focus, mental clarity, energy, drive. I was sleeping better at night. I was waking up more refreshed. I was feeling less stressed. I was performing better in the gym. I was recovering faster afterwards. And I was like, what is this stuff? Right? You know, Chuck jokes around too, because the people, when he walks around at the gym now, they think he's on steroids, you know, because, you know, it's just the good nutrition. We always say that, you know, this nutrition is great. However, the miracle is not really this product line. It's not this nutrition. It's really what your bodies do when we put the proper fuel, when we put them in the right environment to become the miracle that God created them to be in the first place. So the Cleanse for Life, it really nourishes and detoxifies the systems. It's made up of plant botanicals, really just helps get the toxins out of the fat cells and out of cells in general. I mean, just the results that people have seen in different ways is just unreal. It's not one of those, I'm just going to be real with you, it's not one of those pooping cleanse. And that's kind of what I was afraid of. Not to mention being an athlete, I was a little afraid that I was going to lose muscle mass. And then I started talking to bodybuilders, and I started talking to these people that were, you know, just looking great. Their physique was awesome. They're athletes. And they were like, yo, you got to cleanse. You got to cleanse. You got to try this cleanse stuff. I'm like, all right, I'm going to cleanse. I'm going to cleanse. All right. And I ended up putting this cleanse in my body, and I feel magnificent. I feel so much better. And it just is based off the principles of intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting has been around for so long, and it's just catching the hype right now. We're at the peak of this bell curve, but Isagenix has been doing it for 16 plus years now, guys. And there's so many benefits of fasting in general. The Ionic Supreme is honestly one of our favorite products. We don't go without it. I can't even describe it when it comes to how it makes you feel in specific ways. Like, it gives you energy in the morning. It helps you focus. It helps you get through your day. But at the end of the day, I actually take a shot of it. I take a shot right after this because it helps me wind down and it helps me stay in a deep sleep. Crazy, right? There's no stimulants. There's no nothing in any of these products that are addictive or that, you know, that are persuading or really just helping your body just, you know, pretty, what's the word that I'm looking for? Anyways, Ionic Supreme is really just this powerhouse of herbs and botanicals that are really going to supercharge your cells when it comes. Manipulate, that's the word I was looking for, manipulate. It's not going to manipulate your body to do something that it's not designed to do. So the Ionic Supreme is going to supercharge your cells on a cellular level. It's great because athletes are now looking at some of these ingredients like a Shilajit, a Shwanda root, all these different ingredients. Professional athletes, CrossFitters are looking at these products specifically to give them a little bit of a competitive edge, but also to help them recover faster. The Isoline Pro Shake is probably my favorite. This is all I ever drink when it comes to shakes. It's pretty similar to the Isoline Shake. It's just 36 grams of undenatured whey protein instead of the 24 that you see in the Isoline Shake. And it still has the digestive enzymes, still has the pre and probiotics, still has the 23 vitamins, minerals, trace minerals, which are so important. And it helps maintain the muscle growth and has a little bit more amino acids for that competitive edge. So these are some of the results. This is not an updated picture. I need to update this a little bit more. This is pretty much my friend Zach. He looked almost identical when it was January. Now, granted, all results are not typical, but so far he's lost about 67 pounds in the last 5 months. Unreal. That's yours truly. That was me before I got married, pretty much right before I got married. And this is me now after married with Isagenix. This is me pretty much kind of going off and on diets, you know, not knowing exactly what I was doing, not really having a program, not really having a systematical way to create results. And then once I got on this system and once I followed it and once I started to really intertwine it with pretty much the same workout program that I was doing before with the picture on the left, results started happening. And that's why I was like, man, I'm leanest that I've ever been. I'm the strongest I've ever been. I'm the fastest I've ever been. I'm recovering faster than I've ever had before. And that's why I was saying, you know, what is in this stuff that just makes it so amazing? And it's just the fact that it's good, solid, raw nutrition. So other people on here. Wendy's on this call right now, to just real people, guys, getting real results. That's what this is all about. Nate's one of my powerhouses. He'll be in celebration too. So you'll see him coming around with his 3 kids and his wife. Phenomenal results, guys. And it's simply because this nutrition works. But when it comes to the breakdown as far as how you get started, ideally, when somebody's looking at this from a business standpoint, I ultimately recommend the Ultimate Pack. Because if you look at the average that a business costs nowadays to actually open their doors, just to open their doors, not for employees, not for anything else, just mainly for just the general licensing and just to actually open your doors, costs about $32,000, the average in the United States right now. For $10.99, you open your doors, you're opening your doors for business, and you get to eat your overhead. I mean, what other company, what other business can you do that? You get to eat your overhead. There's no employees, there's no accounting like we were talking about before Chuck was going over. So you get to eat and you get to try everything that the company offers this way. And that way, if somebody asks you, well, what do you think of this? What do you like about that? What flavors do you prefer for this? You ultimately know. And at the same time too, if you duplicate with this pack, it is going to help you really jumpstart your business like never before. But there is other options that we have. The value pack's probably the most popular pack when it comes to the balance of people that are business oriented as well as customers. That for me specifically is the easiest for people to, it's easiest for people to come in with and coach them. The premium pack is a nice in between. It doesn't have the greens, the vitamins. The value pack also comes with 2 coupons, friends and family, $29 off, as well as $25 coupon for your next order, which is phenomenal. But the premium pack is still a great option, still gives you all the snack options, still gives you everything that you need to be successful. Just doesn't have the greens, the vitamins with the telomere support, which is really women, I'm just going to claim it, women call it Botox in a box. It's helped both my wife and I with just, pretty much our skin, just the way that we feel, our nails, hair, everything. Chuck can pretty much, talk about his hair too, on how his hair is now going from a gray to more of a darker brown back to black. So pretty much comes with a little bit more bare necessities. Cut the shakes, the cleanse, the ionics, the core products, but just none of the snacks, none of the vitamins or anything, or the coupons that come along with it.
All right, this is what I want to talk about earlier. When I was talking about the company, I want to show you the growth. It took Isagenix 9 years to get to the point that they were making $20 million a month. And I want to just put that in perspective. As we open up South Korea, we're projecting to do $20 million in the first month in Korea, in the new market alone. It took 9 years to do that as a company, as a whole. 9 years, they're projecting to do that in the first month in Korea. That's called exponential growth. And that's what's happening as we go and expand internationally. So look at the graph right now real quick and look at the growth over the years. It's steady, consistent, no super growth and then fall apart as a company, which does happen to a lot of network marketing companies. They have strategically built this business, solid foundation, month after month, year after year, and now 16 years later, we're on the brink of hitting hyper momentum. Let's go to the next slide, Nick. This slide is very, very exciting. You talk about corporate momentum. Look what's happened over the last 4 years with Isagenix. They've tripled their growth. They went from $334 million to $924 million in 4 short years, 2012 to 2016. Now what we're in the process of right now is from 2017 to 2020, doubling that growth again. So they got to $1 billion. It took to basically 2017. We're just barely under that last year. And now between 2017 and 2020, the company, in my opinion, just my opinion, but the company is projecting to double their growth in this short window right here by 2020. That, ladies and gentlemen, is very, very exciting. So we've mentioned the word network marketing a few times throughout this presentation. Some of you might not be familiar with that. You might be thinking pyramid scheme. There's all kinds of thoughts that go through people's minds. Multi-level marketing. First of all, this is not any pyramid scheme. This is not multi-level marketing. This is network marketing. This is referral marketing. It is the hottest way to build a business in the world today. It's simply word of mouth. But because of technology and because of the way that Coovers had designed this compensation plan, you get paid for all your referrals, all their referrals, down through infinity. And because of the way this is structured in 2 teams, you literally can get volume in your business that you had nothing to do with. someone who got in before you, like a Nick Brucker, got in the business before me. He was personally enrolled by Herman Petty Cepeda. He told you earlier. My sponsor, Michael Weeder, was enrolled by Herman Petty Cepeda. So we both fell on the same side of Herman Petty's third reentry position. And so I fell on Nick's team. He didn't know me before this business, but all the volume I create the rest of my career counts for Nick's business. Ladies and gentlemen, that's exciting. Same thing can happen for you. Let's go to the next slide, Nick. Game changer. Now, I'm an old school traditional network marketer. I do it belly to belly, but I'm learning to use technology. Then you got young guys like Nick who understand technology. They do most of their business using the internet, using social media. You combine those skills with the international market that's available, and you have an incredible, absolutely incredible opportunity before you. There's things going on right now with Facebook and LinkedIn and different social media things where you can expand your reach and exposure at a rate we never could have done in the old school belly to belly, one-on-one, one at a time. So here a slide that we really enjoy because it's called Market Disturbers. And Apple disturbed the way we communicate. Amazon absolutely disrupted the way we shop. Then you got Google, who disrupted the way we get information. Nobody has encyclopedias or dictionaries or anything anymore. If you want to know something, you Google it. Well, Isagenix is redefining the way people make money. We have 29 people last year that earned over $1 million in 1 year. Ladies and gentlemen, that's exciting. You go to most other big network marketing companies, and they'll point to 2 or 3 or 4 people that are making a ton of money, but the masses of people in those companies are not making money. In Isagenix, this coming weekend, there's going to be hundreds of people walking across stage as 6-figure income earners. There'll be a bunch more that go across, have earned $250,000. A whole bunch have earned $500,000. And you're going to have a handful that in the last year have earned $1 million. Last year was about 27 to 29, I believe. That is very, very exciting, ladies and gentlemen. So basically, it comes down to this. When do you want to start getting results? We're talking about your body transformation. We're talking about your financial transformation. We're talking about financial freedom. So, Nick, I want to thank you for allowing me to be a guest. I want to encourage you, if you are a guest on our call tonight, to get back with the person that invited you. Get your account set up now because that positions you on their team. And you never know who's going to fall under you because they're probably talking to way more people than just you. And as you get enrolled, new people come on board, fall under you, and everything they do counts for you the rest of their life, just like everything I do counts for Nick because he got in a year before I did. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. And Nick, thanks for letting me be a guest on your show tonight.